Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another World Cup qualifying predictions and another 100% accurate World Cup group stage predictions, okay? So here we go with Group B, all right? We got England, Iran, USA, and a TBD. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do 3 separate group stages for Group B because there's 3 teams that this could possibly be. This could possibly be Wales. This could possibly be Scotland. This could possibly be Ukraine. Once the Ukraine and Scotland game goes on and finally happens in, I believe it's June, then Wales will play the winner of that, and the winner of that game will go to the World Cup and be placed in Group B alongside these 3 fine nations. So, we are going to start us off. Okay, so we're going to pretend for this first run-through that the TBD is going to be Wales, okay? That's the first run-through. So none of these other games, like England, Iran, England, USA, and Iran, USA, are going to change through this. But we're going to pretend that the TBT for this first one is Wales. So start off with the first game in Group B. It is England and Iran. Kicking things off, I don't think this game is going to be even close. England is just too talented. They're too good. Iran, I think they've got some like European players that sprinkled all around Europe, but I don't even think they're in any of like the elite leagues. And if they are, they're very few, right? So they're not really like a super talented group. So I don't see Iran making any sort of damage or upset here. So England's actually going to win this game by a score of 3-0. All right, so that's it. That's easy, done. Now we have the first game, USA versus Wales. So Gareth Wales is, I think he's going to have himself a game here. All right, I think the USA and Wales are going to be locked into a ferocious battle. One that I think will actually end in a 1-1 draw. I think Wales are going to be able to put a goal in past the United States. And I don't think that the United States are going to score multiple goals. I think they'll get one. I think the USA will score in the first half. Wales will tie it up in the second half. And it will be a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes. Both teams will take a point. So then we go to Wales and Iran. And I think that this is actually going to end up being a closer game than what a lot of people think it's going to be. I'm not saying Iran's going to come in here and get absolutely steamrolled by everybody. I think they're going to get rolled by England. And I don't think they're going to get rolled by Wales here. And they are going to lose, but it's actually going to be a 2-1 score. Iran will get a goal. They're going to fare better than Qatar in Group A. They will get a goal, and but they will still be in a losing effort. That goal will come. Moving on, England and the United States. Sorry, I got to move around here. There we go. England and the United States. So this one's interesting for me because obviously we think back to a couple World Cups ago, or a few World Cups ago, and England and the USA drew 1-1. The English keeper, I can't remember what his name, Green, I think was his name. Remember, he let in that absolute howler. England should have won that game 1-0. That was just a goal that never should have went in. I believe it was Dempsey that ended up getting the goal, just putting it on target. Hey, in sports with a net, it's like hockey, right? I'm a Canadian. It's like hockey. You put it on the net, you never know what's gonna happen. Goalies are human, keepers are human. They're gonna make a mistake, right? Every once in a while, and the U.S. benefited greatly from a mistake by Robert Green I think it was Robert Green. I think that's who it was. But they benefited greatly from a mistake back then. This time, this is tough, man. This is actually tough because the U.S. and England, I think, are. I'm not going to say they're straight up. They're just even, right? England is a favorite. England is the better team. England should win. But I don't think they're going to. I think this is going to be another draw for the USA, and I think it's actually going to be, like it was before, 1-1. And if a team is going to win that game, it's going to be the U.S. 2-1. But I think the U.S. will only score one. I think, during World Cup qualifying in the Octagon, they didn't seem, against the good teams in CONCACAF, they just couldn't seem to really get that offense going. They had the 2-0 against Mexico, but they really never got their offense going against Canada. They did score one goal in the 1-1 draw in Nashville. Then they got shut out in Canada, 2-0 by the Canadians. So the U.S., they're having a little bit of difficulty. They're okay picking on the weaker teams. I find they do generate a good amount of offense there, but against the good teams with a decent back line, they struggle. They will get one on England. England will get one on them, and it's a 1-1 draw going through. So if we look at it now, 2 matches played. We've got England atop the group right now with 1 win and a draw. We've got Wales is currently second with a win and a draw. And the United States has 2 points. They're in third, 2 points with 2 draws and a even goal differential. And Iran is getting smoked. They're out of the World Cup by this point. They with 2 losses in their first 2 games and a goal differential of -4. So we go down here to Wales and England. And so obviously a draw really helps them, right? A draw really helps them, but I don't think it's going to be, because the USA, you come down here and you have the USA and Iran, right? So Wales and England, they know that the possibility of the USA beating Iran by multiple goals is big, right? Especially Wales. Wales's goal differential is 1, right? It's 1. The USA's is 0. It's even. So all the USA has to do is win by more than 1 against Iran, and they're through on goal differential. So that is a massive problem for Wales. So they're going to go for it. They're going to want to get the 3 points. But I think actually England is going to win this game against Wales by a score of 2-0. And that's going to be a huge problem because the USA are going to defeat Iran by a score of 3-1. And it wouldn't matter with Wales. I love Wales. They're a good team, but I just think that they're not going to be able to get enough offense, generate enough offense in this tournament to be able to advance, to truly compete into the group stages. England will win the group with 7 points. They will go with 2 wins and a draw in 3 matches, 6 goals for, 1 goal against, with a goal differential of +5. The USA will take second place in the group with 1 win and 2 draws in their 3 matches, 5 points, 5 goals for, 3 against, for a goal differential of positive +2. And Wales, unfortunately, will be third, 4 points, with a win, a draw, and a loss in 3 matches played, 3 goals for, 4 goals against, for a goal differential of -1. And Iran, unfortunately, no points through 3 matches, 3 losses, 2 goals for, 8 goals against, for a goal differential of -6. And look, Iran, a giant goes out. A favorite always goes out in the group stage, right? But this one here, I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I don't see England or the USA falling to Iran. I don't. I know it happened. I know it's happened before. But the USA was a much lesser team than they are right now. So I just don't see any way that Iran is able to surpass USA. England is just on another level right now internationally. They're killing it. fresh off, the second place at the Euros. They're going to feel it. They're going to want to go in and win that World Cup. So as you can see down here now, as we look at the updated knockout stages, the Netherlands will play the USA in the round of 16, and England will face off against Senegal. So that will be that'll be a really insane, really good 2 matches for the round of 16 to kick off. So that is super, super exciting. So one last look at the games. So England 3-0 over Iran. USA and Wales 1-1. Wales over Iran 2-1. England and USA draw 1-1. England defeats Wales 2-0, and the USA defeats Iran by a score of 3-1 to finish the group. And England first, USA second, Wales third with 4 points, unfortunately, and Iran rounds out the group in fourth. Poor winless Iran.